In this video, we'll be demonstrating the all-nylon internal flat sail slugs. We'll also be showing the variety of ways they can be installed in your sail. Probably the most important thing to consider when purchasing the flat sail slugs is the width. Sailrite recommends the snap-in piston shackles. These shackles do require a grommet, but are very easy to use. No need for a screw that can strip out. All that's necessary is to place it over the grommet, and the grommet needs to be a number 1 hole size spur grommet or a number 2 spur grommet. Then once it's placed over the grommet, then just simply apply pressure until it snaps. That's all there is to it, and it fits very nice. This is the 7/8 inch length by 3/8 inch width. Now let's move on to the 1 1/8 inch length by 7/16 width. Again, the snap-in plastic shackle. Place it over that grommet, number 1 or number 2 spur. And then this one requires a little bit more pressure, so I'm using some pliers here to snap it in place. And it is locked very securely. There you go. That's the snap-in plastic shackles. Now we'll move on to the standard screw-on plastic shackles, which work as well. We'll set those snap-in plastic shackles aside, and now we'll concentrate on the standard screw-on plastic shackle. This shackle works exactly the same way, but comes with a stainless steel screw and screws in place rather than snaps in place. Just screw it down tight. No need to over tighten, because it can strip out if you over tighten it, and you are ready to go. We're using all these examples with a 5/16 inch bolt rope, which is the standard on most boats, and it fits nicely. Now we're going to move on to the heavy-duty screw-on plastic shackle. This one works exactly the same as the standard, except for it's just a lot tougher. For the exact inside length and maximum width, just refer to the Sailrite catalog or the web page and just type in that part number that shows up on your screen. We'll put this over the 5/16 inch boat rope and then insert that screw and tighten it down. These all work very well because of that pip, which is a little finger that prevents that slug from turning the wrong direction, so it helps prevent jams. So that's the heavy-duty screw-on plastic shackle. There is yet another screw-on plastic shackle that does not require a grommet, and that we're going to be showing next. This is the wide 5/8 inch screw-on plastic shackle. Many of our customers say it looks too small, but seeing is believing, and in this video you'll see it works. As you saw a little bit earlier, we used a screwdriver to pre-expand these to make them go over easier. And then we take that included stainless steel screw and we lock that shackle onto the luff or foot of your sail. Now this does not require a grommet. It is not as tough as a shackle that requires a grommet, and that's why it needs to be nice and tight like it is. But for general purposes, this is a good shackle without a grommet. And last but not least, you can put on the shackles with the tubular polyester webbing as shown here in this video. This is a 1/2 inch. You can also use a 3/4 inch webbing, and you just want to cut that webbing with a hot knife to the appropriate size so that it sandwiches over your sail edge. We're using double-sided tape to baste this webbing to the sail. We'll do that on both sides. By doing this, nothing moves when you take it to the sewing machine to sew it in place. Otherwise, you need to staple it or do something to prevent it from moving all over. But double-sided tape works great. And we'll baste it to the sail, and then we'll take it to our Ultrafeed LSC sewing machine and we'll sew some zigzags in 2 positions on top of this webbing here. After that's done, we're going to also do some hand sewing between the bolt rope and the slug. So again, here's the sewing machine. We'll put it in zigzag and just sew forward and reverse a few times to lock that webbing onto that sail. We'll do this in 2 positions, here and over towards the leech edge. Obviously, if it were on the foot, it would be the furthest edge out. Okay, so there it is. Now we'll take it over and we'll start to use pre-waxed polyester thread and a hand needle and obviously a palm to push it through and secure that slug from moving all over. We'll start by pushing the needle through the center. We've doubled up with a pre-waxed twine, and we come through and just leave a little trailer on the opposite end here. You can put a knot in it, or you can avoid putting a knot in. Just make sure that trailing thread gets tucked. And then we go around and we create figure eights. We go around one side, come through the top again, and push it through the center all the way through. Then we loop it on the other side. So we're actually making a figure eight here several times. See how we go around the other side, push it through the top again, and then we'll come back on the other side and loop it from that side. We'll create this figure eight at least twice. You can go more if you want it even more secure. It's quite simple to do. Obviously a shackle would take less time, but this does not take as many tools. If you don't have a die set to put a spur grommet in, then using webbing is a good idea. Now, once that's done, we'll take that needle and we'll tuck it in between some of those threads that we'd sewn in there previously to lock it all in place. We'll do that a couple times. And then we'll take a hot knife and we'll cut that pre-waxed thread. And after we cut the pre-waxed thread, we will actually melt that thread and then push it with our fingers to create kind of like a button. And it's not going to come out now. I'm Eric Grant, and for all of us here at Sailrite, thanks for watching.